as you all know, Brooklyn got swept. In 4 games, they ain't win a game. They got swept. And they had left the Nets hesitant. And now, according to a source familiar with the Nets' thought process, outright unwilling to give him a long-term extension. Again, outright unwilling. This totally does not meet Kyrie Irving's expectations. I hope you guys remember the press conference he had. It was like, me and Sean and KD, we're going to figure this thing out. We're going to build a better roster, and I'm going to be here, and yada, yada, yada. I'm paraphrasing, of course. Right?
Right.
So, but Kyrie definitely has hopes of getting an extension with the Nets.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something. I agree. I full-heartedly agree with the Nets, man. I agree with the Nets. I am not giving you a long-term extension. Now, I want to remind everyone that Kyrie does have a player option this year. It's worth $36.5 million. If he chooses to opt out, he'll be a free agent. Now, the free agent market, I can see a team picking him up for sure, signing him. Just because it depends on the franchise, but I don't think he'll be a contender. I mean, there are not too many franchises that can offer a good bag like that. The only franchises are like Washington or, those type of franchises.
Right.
That have money to spend. So, I'm not sure he's willing to do that. I think if you're the Nets, you have to have a conversation with Kyrie and be like, here, opt into your player option. We want to have you here.
Right.
But last season did not go the way we wanted it to go.
Not at all.
We invested a lot into you and this roster, right? So let's see if we can make another run at it with a fully healthy roster, with a Ben Simmons that's ready to play, with a Kevin Durant that's ready and healthy to go from the jump. The full roster healthy, right? Joe Harris will be healthier. So if I'm the Nets, that's the argument I would give Kyrie. And if he takes it, that's great.
I'm with you. Heck no, I wouldn't give Kyrie an extension for right now. If he's smart, like you said, he'll opt in and get that 36 mil, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it was just too much unpredictability with him. I know certain journalists have been like on his case for a lot of stuff, which is understandable. He missed a lot of time, and it was just a difficult season for the Nets in general, trying to integrate him and road games, not home games. Then it became all he can play. I would be hesitant to say the least as well, because I just don't know when it comes to him. I feel like for the most part he was healthy this year, and that's probably because he only played a handful of games compared to regular seasons. But yeah, if I was him, I'm opting in. I'm getting 36 mil. We'll figure out next year after that. I mean, if anything, Brooklyn still could, like, if he opts in, I don't know if he has no trade clause, but if they wanted to just get rid of him, they could still do that route as well. But I think this is really, to me, it was like this year, this next season is where they have their best shot, because for all year long it seemed like Harden was like iffy about being there. Kyrie wasn't playing, KD still being KD, but they weren't ever really in a place where I was like, these two teams are gonna be, once the season started and we saw how it progressed, it was like, yeah, they are not together like at all. So I say, this year, run it back. You got Ben Simmons, who should, I hope, and I'm praying that he's healthy and able to go. KD will be back. Kyrie should opt in, get his bag, and then give it a go this year. Joe Harris, hopefully will be back. They got Seth Curry. They still got Drummond. They have a good team. They have a good shot here, but As far as like a long-term extension, I think Stephen A. Smith said it. He was like, I would give him 1-year deals for the rest of his time in the league. And I wouldn't say the rest of his time. I would say I would give him 5, 4, 3 years, at max 2 years, but that's still kind of iffy at this point. And I understand that.
Yeah, at max I give him a 2-year extension.
Maybe.
At max, like 2 years, and it won't be like a fully max extension either. Nah, not at all. It'll probably be somewhere still in the 30 million range. I'm definitely not going to the 40s. And, so they have a decision. You also have to think about the repercussions. Say Kyrie does opt out. The only reason KD went to the Nets in the first place is because of Kyrie. So if Kyrie opts out, what does that mean for KD? And let me add this too. There are reports that KD has not spoken to Nets management since the first round exit. So this could mean nothing, because remember he was in Europe for a minute, right? This could mean nothing, but at the same time it could mean something. Not talking to him at all. I mean, I'm just saying, this could mean he's upset, and again, it could be nothing. But it's something to consider if you're the Nets, because you do not want to make KD upset.
No.
And based on what happens with the Kyrie situation, you may be looking at another rebuild again.
That is odd, but the season is not, for them, it's not starting anytime soon. The front office should be working with him. I agree. It's kind of weird to be like, that there's a report that like, he hadn't spoke to the front office since the playoff exit, and it's like, okay, that's kind of strange. I know that I've seen him talk about, just in the past, well, OKC, he didn't really have a relationship with the management, right? And now he's understanding the business aspect of it. Shout out to KD as well for like all the businesses and investments he's made. I've been keeping up. He's been doing pretty good. But as far as what KD does, that's their priority. If anything, like if I have to choose between Kyrie and KD, my choice is obviously going to be KD. But I don't think that he's going to be. I honestly don't see him leaving if Kyrie leaves, even though Kyrie was the reason he came. But it's just kind of weird, and I hope that they get organized as an organization, because it just is a weird look. But like you said, KD went to Europe. He's vacationing, and I'm sure he's back in the gym at some point, working, just getting some shots up, everything. But I feel like we'll probably hear more in the next couple weeks for sure, especially as the finals will start on their way soon.
Hear more, and we'll definitely hear something about, because the next thing that needs to happen, or the next domino that needs to fall, is Kyrie choosing to opt in or out. He has 1 month left to decide, so we'll know. Sometime after the finals, we'll know. So
for sure,
everything hinges on that. Whether, if you're the Nets, it's kind of unfortunate to be in this situation too, because think about all the assets you gave up, right? Before there were a team with young assets on the rise. I'm talking about the team with D'Angelo Russell and Spencer Dinwiddie, right? It's almost like, I hope this is not a repeat of the Paul Pierce KG thing with the Nets. I hope this is not a repeat. You're trying to get these superstars and win a championship now. So far, it's not working out in the past 2 years. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah,
I just hope it's not that situation again. If it's that situation again, it's tough if you're a Nets fan. It's tough.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I forgot about that. What even? How did that even happen? Like, KG.
It was the Nets. I think, who was it? I forget his name right now, but he had to end with the Celtics basically to like a Jason Tatum, I think, and turn into like a, you know, that's how they got Jaylen Brown. That's how they got so many assets from that trade.
That's crazy. I remember that team. I remember we used to play 2K and I saw like KG and Pierce and Joe Johnson, Brooke Lopez. Like they had a crazy squad.
They had a superstar squad. It just didn't work out.
That was crazy. But yeah, I hope the Nets don't fold that much and this becomes just a repeat of the past. But I don't know. To me, the Nets just kind of are weird because I don't know. I don't feel like they have a clear stance. They're always like very fluid and trying to like, which is a good thing, but also kind of like odd because I feel like the Nets are always looking to make a move based on like how they're doing within a few months. Like I feel like they went from, you know, like you said, D'Angelo Russell and all those young players and they got KD and Kyrie, and they basically didn't have like a plan. They were just like Kyrie and KD put the team together, right? And then they got what they got, and it seemed like it's just no really big leadership factor in it. But I don't know. That's just me. But I hope they make this work, honestly. I feel like, I mean, me personally, I want to see how a Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, KD combo looks. Because I feel like that could be pretty good for them, honestly. But we'll see. We got to see what Kyrie and the Nets do.
Yeah, all depends. We'll find out in a month. Within a month, I'm predicting sometime after the finals, around that time.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. If I'm Kyrie, I'm opting in. I'm not sure there's a team out there. It depends on what he wants to do, because remember, Nike is not thinking about extending him either. We didn't really talk about that. So your Nike contract is going to expire without an extension. If his goal was just to get a bag, maybe you need to think about increasing your value a little bit more. So opt in. There's no guarantee unless you go to like a team like Washington. And he barely played for New York, the Nets. Imagine him going somewhere else, like a Portland or like somewhere that's like, I'm talking about environment-wise, where you're not even going to play. Like, if he doesn't want to be there, is that going to lead to him not even wanting to play more? You know, I don't know it depends on what his goal is. If his goal is just to get the bag, go ahead and opt in, play your best, have a great season, be that player that we know he is, and then get your bag, get that Supermax extension, because he loves New York. This is your best bet. I know this is where he wants to be. I think I'd rather play with KD than going to another franchise that doesn't have him. So
you would think, huh?
I would think so, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. I don't see him. I lean in the favor of him. I think he's gonna opt in. But you know, this is Kyrie we're talking about, so it could be it can go any way.
It can go any way with how he thinks. He is a very unique thinker, so it's hard to predict what he'll do. Let's